So, Lara and Sutty, thank you for coming on the show. I'm really excited to have you guys here today to talk about the release that we've just had out on my label Peachy Sounds. So it came out last Saturday, the 14th, and obviously we've had a lot of support on the release so far. So I'd love to chat to you guys a bit about your backgrounds, how you kind of got into music, and then also what it's been like kind of all of us working together on this release, especially in the middle of the global pandemic. So I think we've done quite well. So Lara, one thing that I was going to ask you was how long you've actually been producing for?
So I've probably been producing for about 6 years. Okay. But not seriously for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, no, four. And then, but before that, I had a pair of Technics, so I was DJing before that. And then I thought, I'll tinker with Logic. I'll go and buy Logic. I had a couple of mates who were kind of experimenting with producing, so I thought I'd have a go too. And then, here we are.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. So was it always like grime and dubstep for you? Obviously you had your Technics, were you mixing that, and then is that the first thing that you then started producing, or?
Yeah, so before I started mixing, I ran I set up like a blog, a Tumblr called Make It Good when I was about 16, and that was kind of influenced by my sister, who first played me Benga's Diary of an Afro Warrior. And as soon as I heard that, I just was like, what is this sound? It's so sick. So then I set up this blog, and then we did a collaboration series with Fat Kid on Fire, and we did like a mixed series, and it was really successful. And then from that, I'm kind of just stuck with it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, that's really sick. Yeah, I think that's happened for a lot of people with dubstep. Like the first track I heard was Koki Tortured. Like my boyfriend played it to me, my boyfriend at the time, on his vinyl. Yeah. I didn't even really know what turntables were at this point. I was quite young, but I was just like, what is this? Like, it doesn't really sound like anything you've heard before when you first hear like proper deep dubstep. So.
I was the same on that. Like, I knew that I liked it. I didn't know what it was called though. And then somebody was just like, one day, I think it was a guy called Cole, he was like, yeah, this is dubstep. And I was like, this is nice, I like it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad that obviously we all discovered it, because it's brought us to this release today, so that's good. Talking of the release, we've had so much support on the release, so how was it for you, Lara and Sutty, seeing it picked up by so many DJs and radio hosts, like pretty as soon as we sent it out, really?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been really humbling, I guess, as well, because like I make tunes because I just love making tunes, so it's nice as well to obviously get them released. That's a goal, but the main goal is kind of just to have fun and explore it. So then for people to really love the tracks as well, that's wicked. It's been awesome. And then to obviously meet you two and all like do it together, it kind of makes it like 10 times better when it's like a shared experience as well with others.
Yeah,
I think.
Definitely, it's the whole like process is pretty exciting. Like to meet someone for the first time and hear a tune for the first time, just be like, oh, let's do this all together. And then, I think everyone that's involved in this has just done everything because they enjoy doing it. So the fact that other people just are like actually enjoying the tune is pretty mad, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I love to kind of like, it had a proper community feel as soon as it came out, because people were just kind of like DMing me about it, like, this is really sick. Like all people that I've kind of connected with through the music scene. Like there was no one that I just like randomly had on a mailing list, you know what I mean? These are all people that kind of we all kind of know together, and like the music scene, like it's a real representation of how the music scene is such a community.
Definitely in 140 and dubstep, I think, as well. Like, and I think as well, because of things like Twitter and like social media now, it's really easy. Well, it's much easier to connect with people who you have a common interest with, and that's music, right? But you wouldn't necessarily cross paths with them in any other walk of life. So that's also what I find really lovely, is you meet such like a mix of people from all different backgrounds, but the common interest is music and the love of music, which is really nice. And obviously we've done this through like all virtually, right?
Yeah.
Which is also like amazing but weird, but amazing.
Yeah.
Quite a mad thing, really. Like, I've never met you in person, Lara, but we've got like a really nice tune together and like have that shared experience. So yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah,
definitely we need to link up in the future though, a little celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all have to meet for a celebration after this, literally. Well, hopefully I'll be able to do events again, and then you guys can like do a set together or something. That would be so sick. But yeah, so for both of you, who are your kind of main influences and inspirations in the kind of areas of music that you both work in?
For me, influence-wise, in terms of 140, I'd say is probably like people like Khan, and then obviously like old school dons, Digital Mystics, Burial. Burial's got to be one of my favourite. That his Untrue album has got to be up there as one of my favourite albums.
Yeah,
it's just so unique.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a life-changing album. What about you, Sutty? What about your main influences?
I really enjoy like female vocalists. So sort of even period, like that lovely like poppy R&B sound. Really enjoy that, and I thought what a sort of interesting sound to kind of try and meld with dubstep. So yeah, when I heard the track, I thought it could definitely like handle that sort of a sound on it. But yeah, I listen to sort of people like Doja Cat at the minute. I love Doja Cat. I love Sade, so SZA. And there's also an artist called Rosalia who's really cool. And these are all like women who are like properly sort of, they have a really controlled sound to their voice. Really strong like melodies and sort of, just that sort of sound I think works really nicely over dubstep. Who'd have thought? But I think it does sound good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw that from the set that you've done, the sets actually. You've done quite a lot of sets for us at Peachy. And obviously, yeah, we've had like pretty much mostly 140 nights, so dubstep and grime, and your like sort of harmonizing and melodies sound so nice over the music. So yeah, that's why I knew that you'd be good for this type of release, because you complement the sound really well. So yeah, okay, that's interesting to hear who both of your influences are, and definitely shout out to Burial, because he's one of my favorites as well. Is there anybody that you guys would like to collab with in the future, whether it's like MCs, producers, anybody in particular that comes to mind?
For me, I mean, as a producer wise, I'd love to make a tune with Eva 808, because I think her beats are just so good, and like her sample choices, and then the way she just like chops it up and flips it, and it's just awesome. So that'd be pretty cool. But then I don't know, I haven't really thought about that one. I think Eva 808, top of my list.
Yeah, okay. Basically just Eva. She's got to do it now if she ever hears this.
And her album is coming soon, and I can't wait. I
didn't even know that she had a new album out. Is this her first full album, or?
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, she's got a new one. Maybe it's her first one, but
yeah,
it's coming soon on Inner Mind.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, we need to look out for that.
It's a difficult question to answer. But I think like certainly for me, like I've been really excited by the thought of working with like another female vocalist, because I've never done that before. I've always worked with maybe like putting a hook to between like a male MC, or sort of, this is actually the first tune that I've ever made with another girl at all, which is quite mad. But I think just any sort of female vocalists, I'd really like to pair up with them and do a little you know, it's quite big in the charts now at the minute, isn't there? I mean, like Rihanna's done tunes with other girls, like who else? Like Cardi B's just done a tune with who was it with? Oh, yeah, but that's quite exciting at the minute. I think the thought.
Make the Stallion? I don't even know if it is now. I might have that wrong.
I missed that, but yeah, yeah, just another girl, definitely like singing.
Yeah.
So I know there's some amazing vocalists around Manchester. So yeah, I'm going to try and hit a few people up and see if we can share some.
Yeah, no, that would be so sick. I think that's mad actually that this is like your first collab with a woman actually, or like the first tune you played with a woman. But just because the listeners don't really know, do you want to let people know who you kind of usually have been making tracks with, Sutty?
Yeah, so usually I've always got something on the go with a producer called Jake Bob, who is a producer at Andy Fancy, and he's just amazing, like, and he just sends me beats quite regularly, and we make stuff together, and we did my first EP together, and then there's a few other collaborations in the works, but yeah, again, like all like male producers. So there's like a couple of people on a collective in Manchester called Kumo. They used to be called Halato, but they're called Kumo now. Yeah. And something coming with, hopefully with Scribs as well, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, just loads of people really. Yeah, got lots on the go.
All over the place. No, that's sick. Okay, so you both are obviously involved in quite a lot of different collectives and platforms and radio shows and all sorts, but Lara, do you want to tell us a bit about your platform, UK Bass Music?
Yeah, so ukbassmusic.com is a website Nikki Acute and I set up back in 2012, which seems like yesterday, but it's obviously not. But yeah, we set it up to promote underground bass culture throughout the UK and beyond. So this was after I did my first blog. And at the time, like, UK bass music wasn't really a genre of its own, like it is now. It was kind of like an all-encompassing umbrella term for like anything, you know, bass heavy. And that's kind of how we still treat it. So it's a website that supports kind of anything with bass in it. So from kind of like hip hop to, you know, jungle, dubstep, and everything in between. And yeah, we've got a good team of awesome writers. Small, but everyone does it for the love of the music and kind of helping get, you know, underdogs' names out there, I guess. Yeah. So we have a mixed series, which has got some awesome people on it. That's you can head over to our SoundCloud and they're all free to listen to. And then we do interviews and stuff, and then we do a monthly show on Subtle Radio, first Saturday of every month, 2 till 4. And usually we get a guest to come down, but sadly, because of coronavirus, we can't do that. But yeah, we're still recording and stuff, so you can tune in to hear like just loads of awesome music. It's amazing how much music we get sent, and we try and listen to everything. So yeah, just you can hit us up.
Yeah, amazing. Definitely shout out the Subtle guys as well. That's a really sick station. Yeah, I really like it there. So just talking a little bit more about some of the other tracks on your release, Lara. Obviously, Many Lives had already had a little bit of exposure on Peachy Sounds, Rinse FM show, and I don't think it got anything else, but like there's nothing else that I'm aware of, but I know that a few people said like, oh yeah, I've had this and I really like it, like it's a really good thing that it's being signed, sort of thing. So when did you actually make that track, and kind of what is there anything you can tell us about like the process or anything that's slightly different to the other two?
Yes, it's a bit more kind of grimier and harder, but also it's got some like mad strings in it. So yeah, I made that track like 2 years ago, after I came back from a trip to India with my sister, and it was the first track I made after we travelled there, and we went there for like 8 weeks, and it was just crazy. It was amazing. Had the best time ever. Best place I've ever visited.
Yeah.
Mad. Everyone's pretty mad, but also it's just full of life, that place. It's just full of life, teeming. So yeah, that was the first tune I made, and it just kind of like, it just came out really. I made it really quickly as well, and that's quite unlike me, because it takes me a while to, I've got I find it hard to finish tracks, which I'm sure is a common problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, it sounds like.
But yeah, that one it just came so quickly. So yeah, and then the other one, which is Notice Now, that was made at a similar time, and I actually made it as just like, I put like a Jeremy vocal on it, like, as I made it, and then I just took it away, and I thought, yeah, it sounds really good, just really stripped back and chilled with the kind of like a dubby bass line. So yeah.
And I think you also put a trim vocal on it at one point, didn't you? Because I'm pretty sure I've played sets with that vocal on as well. So I still find it mad that I've signed these now. I've been playing those tunes for like quite a while since you sent me them. So I'm just really gassed that they're on my label now. I'm just so excited about it still. No, that's sick. That's cool actually that you said kind of, it's almost like your trip inspired you, because I don't know if you've seen what Flavor D is up to at the moment, but she's kind of like just traveling around in a glammed out camper van, like making tunes, like using sounds that she sampled from going around, and also like being inspired by the kind of surroundings and views. So it's quite interesting that, you said you managed to finish that just after coming back from such a crazy experience. It does show that you do kind of need like inspiration to make these things work.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like as well, sometimes when you can't force the creativity, right? But obviously you enjoy making music, so sometimes you're like, oh, I want to make a tune, but it just doesn't flow.
Yeah.
And I think as well, having not been able to produce while I was there, because I didn't have like a laptop or anything, so then when I came back, it was made even more special because I hadn't done it. And like so yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But I definitely recommend going there. I mean, I think it's a bit like Marmite, you kind of love it or hate it, but it's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No, I'd love to go to India one day. So Sutty, just for a couple of questions to ask you, I don't actually know, like, obviously I've known you for a while, but I don't really know when you actually started out like singing, or you play the piano as well and stuff like that. So has it been since you were a really young age, or was it a bit older that you got into making music?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was little, so when I was about, I'd say probably about 8, I started learning the flute, and it was a really big thing in my family because nobody was musical, so I think there was quite a lot of like encouragement there for me to do that. And I'm not gonna lie, like I hated it for a long time. Yeah, looking back, I'm really happy that, but I went through all the like classical side of music and finished my grades and thought, oh, do you know what, I kind of want to maybe play in an orchestra, like maybe want to go on the classical side of things. But I just wasn't good enough. Like I just wasn't dedicated enough. I mean, you have to be like so dedicated to sort of make it in that world. And it was around the same time that I just started sort of like playing a bit of piano, like teaching myself piano. And yeah, I just discovered that I just really enjoyed singing over it. It took me quite a long time to like find my sound. I think for a while I was like singing in this like horrible like false American accent for ages, and I just like look back on it and like cringe. But yeah, it's just one of those like just trying to find your voice a little bit and sort of growing up. But yeah, it's been years. And then my first release was probably about 3 years ago now, and that was with Chameleon Audio, my EP. But yeah, it was a long time coming. I'd been working on tracks for a really long time, and then finally got a few out. So yeah.
That's cool. So you did have quite a kind of musical background, and I think I look back now and like my parents tried to make me do like piano and violin. I think I did like piano for a couple of years and violin for like a year. And looking back now, I'm like, why did I not carry that on? But obviously you don't always appreciate it at the time, and obviously now you're older, I bet you're happy that you did the flute and like stuck with it, if you know what I mean, because it's given you like such a good music career today. So
yeah, I think that's probably why I like these like really strong melodies as well, because that's obviously like part of like playing the flute, and it's quite a vocal instrument because like you're using your lungs and you're breathing down the flute, so it's quite a sort of, it feels like singing through it anyway. So yeah, I think that inspired my songwriting.
yeah, oh, that's cool. I never knew that actually about playing the flute, but I think the most that I came close to that was the recorder at school, which nobody can do on the recorder. It doesn't sound. So what were your thoughts when you first heard Lara's track that she sent over?
I was just like, please let me have it, please let me have it. I really want to put a vocal over this. It just like straight away, it's just so full of like energy, and it's really interesting to hear your inspiration behind it, Lara, because I think you can just feel that. It's just like so vibrant, like the track itself. It's just like bursting with energy.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, oh, that's amazing. Please do it.
Yeah, so just over it a little bit. Finding some sort, I kind of go like do like that, like try and find some sort of vowels and like where like the placement's going to be, and it just happened really quickly, like the idea for it. So yeah, it was an instant hit with me.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you about that actually, because it seemed like almost instantaneously that you kind of sent over your like first rough draft of singing over it. So is that kind of a process that you often do with your music, like that you can get something out fairly quickly, almost like freestyling?
Yeah, I would say like, you know, it's a good one if it comes quick for me. Like, yeah, if I can hear it straight away, like I can sit there and listen to it and like hear a melody over it, I know it's gonna come out good. I mean, obviously, like you can get something decent out of the track that takes a little bit longer over, but generally, yeah, like the quick ones are the way forward for me. Yeah, it's like going over it and yeah, just run with it really, and you just have a gut feeling, you know, if it's gonna sound good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that you got that feeling with this track anyways. So obviously, just so that people listening know a little bit about how this all came together. So obviously, Lara, I've been playing your music for a couple of years since you first sent me it, and we kind of connected through like Subtle FM, I would say primarily. Because I think you put on like Facebook that you didn't have a guest for your show, and I was like, oh, I'm in London this weekend. This was before I even lived in London, so I was like, I'll come. And then obviously that's kind of how we met. As far as I'm aware, would you say that's how we first?
Yeah, definitely. That was awesome. I still remember that. Your mix was fire, as always.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm always quite relaxed at Subtle, because like, you know, everybody there, and it's just like proper like friendly vibes, and I feel like that's the kind of situations that I mix best in, so glad that you enjoyed it. And so obviously, yeah, as soon as then I launched my label, I've always had you down as somebody that I really wanted to sign. And then we need to give a big shout out to Lila, because Lila used to work with me on Peachy. She's like finished uni and just kind of working out what she wants to do at the moment. But she's done so much for Peachy, and like it wouldn't be where it is today without her. And I think I briefly mentioned earlier that I know you, Sutty, through Lila, but I'd already been like stalking you on Instagram before that. Sutty, Lila kind of introduced each other. And you're also someone that I've always wanted to have on the label. So I just think it's really sick that both of you guys were so kind of open-minded about, you know, collabing with somebody that you've never met and stuff. So yeah, just Lara, do you want to tell me a bit about what it was kind of like for you? Because has anybody like sort of created vocals for one of your tracks before? And what was it like?
This is a first time for me, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a steep learning curve. I definitely called a lot of friends who make tunes, being like, can you help me? I've got a vocal coming through and I'm not really sure what I need to be doing with it. So can we have a little Zoom call and teach me some tricks, or,
Yeah.
But also read stuff up, did research, and it's just been awesome to put it together. And that's what I love about making tunes, is that it's just endless learning almost, isn't it? Because it's never ending, really. So that's what's cool about it. But yeah, it's my debut release, so it feels really special to be doing it with you girls. And it wasn't forced, it wasn't we didn't push it, did we? And that felt so right. It just was really organic. And I set intentions to release music, and it just kind of happened, but I didn't put too much pressure on it either. And I think that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
To enjoy the process as well.
Yeah, 100%. And Peachy for me is definitely just about supporting people that I've kind of met along the way, and just collaborating on things together, really. So I think it's really nice that we've all just met, like we said earlier, through this music scene, and now we've got this release, and it just feels like proper community family vibes. So it's been really nice to chat to you guys, and thank you for coming on the show. Before you both go, do you just want to let me know if you've got anything coming up that you'd like to shout out? Obviously, it is the middle of a pandemic. We're in second lockdown. So there may not be too much going on, but just in case. And also, if you just want to shout out your social media handles where people can look you up, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I haven't really been making many tunes recently, so I haven't got anything lined up, but every month we'll be doing the Subtle Show. So if you guys want to send me tracks, anyone want to send me tracks, we listen to everything. It's promos@ukbassmusic.com, and then you can just follow me on Twitter and SoundCloud. It's Lara Music, and then my Twitter is Lara Make It Good. So yeah.
Nice. Sutty, what about you?
I've been managed to be quite productive for parts of lockdown, and I've got a single coming out quite soon. I don't have a release date yet, but you'll be the first to know about it when I do. But there's things coming. I'm looking forward to the new year. I think that's going to be a really good year for Sutty releases. So keep your eyes peeled. And the best place to find me is definitely on Instagram. I'm so useless with Facebook. It's Sutty_Ella on Insta.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys, and I hope you're both well. And if anybody wants to listen to the release, then please head to our socials, which is @Peachy UK on Instagram. It's Peachy Sounds on Bandcamp. Just try Peachy UK or try Peachy Sounds in most social media platforms, and you will find us. And I will be shouting out the release throughout the show and throughout my future shows. So I won't let the listeners forget about it. It's not going to happen. It's going to keep coming up. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. And thank you for collaborating with me on this.
Thank you so much for having us.